Hi guys, Ryan G. Wright from DoHardMoney.com, and I'm coming to you live with a Just Ask Ryan question of the day. And today's question is, what is the process of closing on a house? How do you actually go about doing that? And I'm going to cover that in detail. But if you have a question of the day you'd like to ask me, please type it in the comments below. If you're selected this question today, I'll be answering that for you and be happy to share that with everybody out there. But let's jump into this. What is the process for closing on a house? The process is a little bit different if it's an investment versus an owner-occupied. There's a few nuances there. But in general, the first step that has to happen is you've got to get the property under contract. Once you've gotten the property under contract, what's going to happen is you'll have an inspections period. This is where you go to the property, you can take your contractor out there, you can take your brother-in-law, or you can hire a professional inspector to take a look at the property. Now, if you're an investor and you're just getting started, I recommend you hire an inspector because you need to learn some of the elements and some of the problems, some of the systems in a house. If you know how to do that yourself, you don't need to hire somebody. The next step after that is, early on you're going to do a loan application so that the lender can start working on that and let you know what they can do as far as a loan for you. After that, the next step you're going to do is get the property valued. So property values are going to be done depending if it's an investment. They may be done internally, they may be done with an evaluation, and if you're buying a house for yourself, it's going to be done with an appraisal. Next thing is happening is conditions. Basically, if you're getting a loan for a homeowner loan, they're going to need your W-2s, and they're going to need your tax return, and they're going to need your employer verification. In addition to that, they're also going to need hazard insurance, and this is going to apply to investment properties. You're also going to need to have flood insurance if it's in a flood area. There's going to need to be title insurance. There's going to need to be documents and affidavits depending upon the situation. Loan docs are going to have to get drawn up eventually once it goes to that phase. So then we got to start getting all this information, and there's probably 40 or 50 different items that are necessary in order to close a loan. Lots of those come from the title company, lots of those come from the hazard insurance company, some of them come from the lender. You'll be processing getting those documents and getting them gathered. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is a termite inspection. Most lenders are going to require termite inspections, and if that termite inspector finds some things, there may need to be some remediation. Now, luckily, the seller may be able to do that remediation for you where you don't have to do it on your own or pay for those expenses. But those are some things that a lender is going to be looking at in order to get the process done. So you have your get under contract phase, then you've got your inspections phase, and then after your inspection phase, then you get into your due diligence phase. This is where the lender is going to get their documents and get the hazard insurance and get the title reports. There could be problems on the title reports or the hazard insurance. Then it's going to have to get corrected. Once those things are done, which is kind of the processing phase, then we go to the underwriting phase where they're signing off on those things to make sure everything's in good shape. Once that happens, then it goes to the docs phase where the loan docs actually get drawn up, and that's when you actually go to the closing table and make the closing happen. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is the closing process is typically, the lender can move pretty quickly, especially if they're a hard money lender, but they're usually waiting on other people. So they might be waiting on a closing attorney. They may be waiting on title insurance. They may be waiting on hazard insurance. They may be waiting on getting a verification from the state. There's a lot of things that they're waiting on, and so a lot of that can be out of their control. I like to tell people we can close super fast, but we're usually waiting on everybody else to do that. And so you've got to take that in consideration when you're doing that. How long does the process take? A traditional loan right now is taking about 45 days to close. A hard money loan is probably about 15 days, give or take. That includes the valuation, that includes everything else. It just depends on how fast a lender can get required documents from other parties and how well they participate. So I hope this is helpful as the Just Ask Ryan question of the day. If it was and you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it, and let me know that you're enjoying these videos. Couple of videos I think you should check out. One is negotiating the price after an offer's been accepted. Check out this video, you're gonna enjoy it. And another video we've got is how to calculate seller closing costs. You're gonna want to check that video out as well, the seller closing costs when you're selling the property. If you have interest in real estate investing, if you have interest in finding off-market properties, if you have interest in getting financing to help you do those types of deals, please check us out at dohardmoney.com. We may be a good fit for each other, and we'd love to talk to you about that. Otherwise, make it a very profitable day, and bye for now.